There is only one God, He is omnipresent. By Mrs. Maria Cecilia Willemser. Meeting Satya Sai Baba has been the best thing that has happened to me in my life. After years of spiritual quest, I discovered in 2001 that a group from my country, Colombia, would travel to India to visit the spiritual master. Ever since I was a teenager, I had felt a strong desire to travel to India, which was finally coming to fruition in my 40s. Such was the intensity of my desire that I did not even find out in advance who was the guru that the group would meet. As I watched my first sunrise in India, in my heart, I knew that I belonged to this place. The place seemed familiar as I entered the ashram in Puttaparthi. It was as if I had always lived in Prashanti Nilayam, even though I resided in Colombia. And when I saw Baba for the first time, my eyes filled with tears, and I could not stop crying. Although my mind resisted and questioned why I shed tears daily during my stay in the ashram, my soul recognized him. I could feel his love and compassion sprout in my heart. Thus, I began a life of unending adventure. Doubt and deliverance. Doubt is a major obstacle to overcome in our spiritual journey. Despite my experience during the first visit, I doubted whether I was doing the right thing. I was greatly concerned about disloyalty to my beloved Jesus and Mother Mary, to whom I was devoted from childhood. As I walked towards the mandir in Prashanti Nilayam, these thoughts scorched me more than the hot Puttaparthi sun. And then, it happened. In the sweltering heat, I heard a loud, clear voice as I stood at the crossroads leading to the mandir and the western canteen. Standing at the crossroads of my spiritual journey, I heard the voice say, "The mother and son brought you to the Father. My name is Baba." I stopped and looked around, but the streets were empty. My heart felt indescribable joy and peace, and I understood that Baba had clarified my deep concern. Right away, my path became easier and clearer. Since then, my life has been a constant miracle, as I feel His presence every day, with increasing frequency and intensity. A roller coaster journey. He is my Father, my friend, my comfort, and my hope. He is my everything. He has allowed me to understand more and more that everything is His will. I understand that the dedication and gratitude that I feel for everything that happens in my existence, for knowing Him, for His love, sustains me and allows me to improve a little more every day as a human being. Among the hundreds of His Leelas, divine plays, that I have experienced, the most amazing event that still makes me cry with joy and gratitude is the miracle leading to the birth of my third grandchild. It happened in 2009, and the divine drama began 2 days before I traveled to Puttaparthi. My eldest daughter, who was in the 6th month of her second pregnancy, called me. She said she had been diagnosed with placenta accreta, a severe condition that occurs when the placenta grows deeply into the uterine wall. I asked her to see other doctors at the Columbia University Hospital, who are experts in treating such conditions. But the next appointment was not available until 2 months later. Praying to Swami was my only resort, and he answered by ensuring she got an appointment the next day. But then, the doctors advised the condition was actually placenta prurita, the most severe, 3rd degree, complication during pregnancy. It occurs when the placenta penetrates the uterine wall completely and attaches to an adjacent organ, in this case, the bladder. This was extremely dangerous, which could lead to unstoppable bleeding. The omnipresence. My daughter was advised to stay at the hospital. I cancelled my trip to India and decided to serve Swami by looking after my daughter, and I surrendered the whole situation to Baba. As his benediction, Swami sent David, a beautiful young adult of the SSU, to me. He was blessed to receive Baba's robe and lent it to me as I left for New York to be with my daughter. Upon arrival at the hospital, I placed the robe on her belly, and after a few moments, the cramps and pains ceased. We both expressed our infinite gratitude to Baba. Is it any surprise that 2 weeks later, the doctors who had recommended that she stay in the hospital for the remainder of her pregnancy advised that she could go home and return to the hospital only in case of emergency? They were pleased with the improvement in her pregnancy but also astonished at the miraculous turn of events. After a month in New York, I returned to Bogota to attend to my work. I called the same taxi that had taken us earlier from the hospital to the apartment, driven by a man from the Dominican Republic named Cecilio. My name is Cecilia. He loved Jesus, and we talked about God during both journeys. When the doctors advised that my daughter be admitted to the hospital for surgery and delivery, I returned to New York. Delivery and Deliverance. The name of the obstetrician in charge of my daughter was Dr. Divine, while the operating surgeon was an oncologist named Dr. Wright. This was a highly complex surgery. 22 people were in the operating theater, including surgeons, nurses, specialists, and medical students. My daughter had headphones placed over her ears through which the sacred Gayatri mantra was played throughout the surgery. It was estimated to be a 6-hour surgery. Barely 2 hours later, the surgeon came to the waiting room and told us that the newborn baby and the mother were doing fine. The baby had been taken to the neonatal intensive care unit, NICU, and placed in an incubator, and my daughter was in intensive care unit, ICU. Though thrilled and joyous on hearing this good news, my happiness evaporated when I saw my daughter was in great pain and distress. I felt sick, and however much I prayed, it did not help. I kept on repeating his holy name and the Gayatri mantra. I surrendered to his will and placed the situation in his hands. I could not take it anymore and walked out of the hospital toward the subway to pick up my daughter's elder child from the nursery. That was when I heard a voice calling, "Cecilia." I thought it could not be for me because I did not know anyone in New York. The voice called again, and I felt a hand on my shoulder. When I turned around, I recognized Cecilio, the taxi driver from the Dominican Republic. He asked me about my daughter and told me he would take me back home. I expressed my gratitude but told him I was taking the subway. He led me by the arm to his taxi, opened the door, seated me inside, and said, "This is my gift to you." As soon as I sat down, I saw the fish symbol at the back of the seat, a reference to a great miracle of Christ. I felt my Swami guiding me along the stream of life, sitting in the driver's seat. I was bathed in infinite peace, unimaginable contentment, and equanimity. Cecilio drove me to the nursery to pick up the child and then dropped us off at the apartment. The next time I saw my daughter, she was smiling, no pain, no distress. Needless to say, the mother and baby recovered well and are doing fine by His grace. With Swami, life is a continuous miracle. Life's experiences taught me patience, forbearance, and surrender, but most of all, they strengthened my faith in my inner self, my inner Swami. He is part of my daily life and always ready to respond, guide and protect me. I remember an occasion when I was thinking about Swami's visit to Africa and dozed off in a waiting hall in Frankfurt. When I woke up, imagine my surprise at meeting the person who had driven Swami around during his stay in Uganda. I can go on and on but will never be able to fully share all the stories of his love and grace. May we experience his presence in our lives at every moment, everywhere. May we realize that life itself is one continuous miracle with Swami. Mrs. Maria Cecilia Willemser.